The prices of 3DS games are rising rapidly, but I'm here to tell you the 10 rarest 3DS games to look out for. Now, I'm not talking about, like, okay, these are the first party games you should be looking out for. No, I'm talking about these are the 10 rarest, most expensive 3DS games that you should be buying in 2022 if you're a hardcore collector. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Media. Thank you guys so much for your support on my 3DS buying guide I did a week or two ago. I love to see it. I really appreciate it. I figured I would do a follow-up because there are certain games that I missed in that video, as well as I just thought this would be a different kind of thing to do, a top 10 list. Now, this isn't exact. Price charting is a little all over the place with some of these games, and there's a chance I missed something. So if I miss any of the major top 10 rarest, most expensive 3DS games in this video, let me know down in the comments below, and maybe I'll do an updated video on this later in the future, because you guys really seem to like that original 3DS video I did. I'm also going to do this for Wii U in a couple days, so keep an eye out for that. So I actually have 11 listed here, and I'm just going to do 11 of them because why not? I already have it listed. And once again, like I said, in no particular order, except I will save the most expensive for last because it is a very funny game. But starting off at number 11, I almost forgot this one. Alien Chaos 3D. This is I believe it's published by Majesco. It looks like a 2D, like little shmup kind of game, like action platformer. This goes for like $200 to $300. I'm assuming it was just a super low print run. See, here's the issue with stuff like that. That is just collector bait. The Wii U is more guilty of this, where it's just games that are valuable for no reason, basically just low print runs. Whereas a lot of these 3DS games are actual good games that like people would want to play, if that makes sense. Alien Chaos 3D, I'm not sure if the reviews are up there for that game. I don't know if it's worth spending $300 for, but it is one of the rarest 3DS games in terms of price. Now, one thing I should have said at the top of this video is that I am not including special editions, with the exception of one, because it is a little bit of a special case. So number 10, let's go and get into this. Radiant Historia. The reason I bring up special editions is because almost all of these Atlas JRPGs, if you include like the special editions for like Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, or Devil Survivor Overclocked, or any of these games, the special editions are normally like 150 to 200, which would put them, this entire list would have been Atlas games. Whereas with most of those games by themselves, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Apocalypse, they're all $100 or less, which is still very expensive. Definitely look out for those games, but they're not top 10 worthy at that point, in my opinion. But this one is. This is Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology. This is a port, I believe, or a remake, remaster with new content of the DS game Radiant Historia. I've never played this. I've heard it is a very good game. I watched the trailer. The battle system looked really interesting. So this is what I'm going to look out for. There is a special edition that goes for like $160, whereas the base game by itself goes for about $100 to $120 right now. It's already gone up a lot since this eShop announcement happened. So definitely look out for Radiant Historia. And keeping in the theme with the JRPGs, we have Dragon Quest VIII. Now, I actually have right here, as I pull it out, if you missed it in my game haul video that I posted a couple days ago, I have Dragon Quest VII. This one goes for about like 70 to 80. It's gone up a little bit right now, but Dragon Quest VIII is a serious one to look out for. It's the remake of the PS2 game, remake, whatever, however you want to classify it, because it looks worse technically. But it is the version of Dragon Quest VIII on the 3DS, Journey of the Cursed King. When the eShop announcement happened, that game was going for about $60. Now it is going for like $150. Dragon Quest VIII has skyrocketed quite a bit. It is a Nintendo published game. I think it came out in 2017 or 2018, so it was definitely a later game as well for the 3DS. So low print run mixed with being a very popular JRPG. You put them two together, going to be a very expensive game. So keep an eye out for Dragon Quest VIII. And I think I did mention that one in my last video. I don't think I mentioned this series at all. I didn't really know there was two games in the series that are super valuable. I'm counting them both as number 8, even though I'm kind of cheating by doing that because they are two separate games. But I am, of course, talking about the Professor Layton series. So I have Miracle Mask. Miracle Mask is like 50 sealed. I got it for a pretty good deal, like 35 or 40 sealed. But Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy, that game goes for like 100 to 150 in that range, as well as Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. That game is also in that same range. So these are, I'm not sure what the gameplay is in Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. I don't know I think it's more Phoenix Wright than Professor Layton, I would assume, but of course, correct me in the comments below. But Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy is, of course, the final game in the prequel trilogy that consisted of Last Spectre, Miracle Mask, and Azran Legacy. That was not super late. I think it was like 2015, maybe 2016 3DS game. And then Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton is obviously just like, that's fan cash grab almost. Not cash grab, but like, you know what I mean. It's bait. People are going to want that game. So both those games are in the 100 plus, 150 plus range. So keep an eye out for those. Those are very sought after 3DS games. I'm personally not as worried about Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton because Phoenix Wright is fine. I like it, but it's not really my cup of tea, whereas Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy, I actually do want to play that at some point. And not talking about DS games here, but Last Spectre on the DS is also quite expensive, I believe. Not in the hundreds, but it's like 80, I think. Number 7. So this is one that I almost forgot, but then Caleb, my friend Caleb, mentioned because it avoided me. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. So this was released physically on the 3DS. I'm not sure who published it. Let me know down in the comments below. But this game goes for about 150 to 200 new, I believe. So Shantae and the Pirate's Curse in general, look out for that. I believe is it Half Genie Hero on Wii U? Not that this is a Wii U video. That one is also pretty expensive. So if you see a Shantae game on 3DS physically, probably buy it because I think that's the only one they released physically, but that one is pretty damn expensive. So if you see that, definitely get it. Number 6. So this is one that it's been like a hidden gem. This is like one, I think out of all these games, this is like the true hidden gem of the 3DS from what I've heard. I have not played it. I am of course talking about Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. Konami game? Let me check. Sega game. So this is a Sega published rhythm game. I think this came out in 2011 or 2012, so a very early 3DS game. This fetches about $150 to $200 on the aftermarket on eBay, on your whatever website you buy used games on. I'm not sure how much used copies are going or new copies are going for, but used it's going for 150 to 200. So keep that in mind. I should have said that also. Most of these prices are usually going to be used values because I'm not really a sealed collector, even though sometimes it's nice to have something sealed. But yeah, Rhythm Thief evidently is like one of the best rhythm games ever. It's not a game you can properly emulate because it's obviously very timing based, so emulating it isn't really the best option. So if you can't get it physically, if you want to play it, buy it on the eShop, or of course if you want to hack your 3DS, you can do that too. Number 5. So this is also 2 games, but more justifiably than the Professor Layton set. This is Yokai Watch Blasters, White Dog Corps and Red Cat Squad. I might have mixed up those nouns, but this is a Yokai Watch spinoff that came out in 2016 or 2017 on the 3DS. I think 2016, where from what I played of it, I downloaded it. It's like a top-down. I thought it was gonna be a mystery dungeon, but it's not. It's like a little action game. I played it a little bit. It seemed fun. These games are extremely rare. Like I think out of all these might pop up less than anything else, except for number 1. I could not believe how rare these games are. They don't fetch insane prices yet, but just how scarce they are. They don't pop up online like at all. So, for example, I'm filming this on March 2nd, so a couple days before it goes live. On eBay, I just doing my dailies. I was looking at eBay for new listings. Yokai Watch Blasters Red Edition, Red Cat Squad or whatever, popped up for $500 sealed. $500. So that's already the highest value I've mentioned in this video. That is insane. I have seen it pop up for less than that. I have seen it pop up for like 250 to 200. It just depends on the seller, and it's just so scarce right now. White Dog Squad or Core, whatever it's called, the dog version, the blue version. Similar thing. I haven't seen it go as high as 500. I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt right now because I saw it pop up for $120 sealed, and I didn't get it on Mercari. So whoever bought that, props to you. You made the right choice because I think that game is going to go up a lot in value. Yokai Watch, despite not being super popular in the West, is still mainstream enough for like Nintendo fans and collectors to really want that. That's like a tentpole 3DS series. So Yokai Watch Blasters, definitely want to keep an eye out for if you see them pop up online or miraculously see those in stores or on like local shops. Number 4, keeping with Yokai Watch 3. So I don't know what exactly happened with Nintendo and Level 5 with the series. Nintendo was publishing them throughout up to, I believe, Yokai Watch 2, Fleshy Souls, and Bony Spirits, not Psychic Spectres. I believe when it switched to Psychic Spectres, Nintendo like dropped out. I think I might be wrong, but from what I've seen, this has to be the reason, because the publishing, they must have just been printing like no copies, because Psychic Spectres is also pretty expensive. It's like 80 to 100 now. But Yokai Watch 3 came out in 2019 on the 3DS, so you can already imagine that's a bad sign. This game does not pop up very often either. I would say it pops up a little bit more often than Blasters, and similar to that, I saw a copy of this pop up actually for $80 shipping from Canada, and I wish I'd bought it. My friend Caleb actually did, even though he doesn't like Yokai Watch, so I think we're gonna make a little trade, make a deal for that. But Yokai Watch 3 in general goes for $200 to $400. I know that's a big range, but from what I've seen when they pop up, it is very expensive. Of course, the copy he got for $80 was sealed. crazy luck there. I saw it. I sent him the link, and I was like, man, I don't know if this is a scam because it was using a stock image. So obviously you got to protect yourself and be careful, but maybe I should have taken that chance. But yeah, Yokai Watch 3, very rare, does not pop up for sale very often, but when it does, it's usually pretty expensive. But like Yokai Watch Blasters, it kind of just depends on the seller. Maybe they just want to move it fast. Maybe they're just like, okay, I'll list it for $150 and get rid of it. So I would say if you see any of those games for under $150, probably a good deal, especially sealed. Next up, we have 3 left here. So number 3, this one is a little spotty, and definitely not as valuable as those Yokai Watch games. This is the Nintendo 3DS Guide Louvre. So this was released at the Louvre Museum. It was literally, like, there was a direct for this. Miyamoto and I think Iwata did a direct for this game. It's literally just like a tour guide software for your 3DS, but they released a bunch of different versions and for different territories. But you had to go get them at the Louvre gift shop. So I don't know what they were thinking there. But there is a North American version that has the ESRB on it, which makes no sense because obviously that's in Europe. I don't know why they did this, but there is a North American version of this game that you had to buy at the Louvre Museum gift shop. So I don't know the exact value because it really doesn't pop up that much. I would assume, from what I have seen, I would say probably 150 to 300 maybe, but it could go higher for that. It might go lower than that. It just depends. I think they might still have that set up there at the Louvre. I might be wrong on that, but I think they might still have that in the gift shop. So if you go there, you can get it. But who the hell's going to the Louvre? Certainly no Americans, really. So yeah, the Nintendo 3DS Guide Louvre. Look out for that. Look it up on eBay. I think Nick Robinson did a video on this game. It's a very interesting game, piece of software that Nintendo released, published by Nintendo, with the Mona Lisa right on the cover. Next up is number 2. This is one I actually own. So let me pull my little package here. This is the exception to my special edition rule, and there's a reason for that. Most special editions are just accessories or like a statue or like an art book. This is the only case I can think of in the history of video games that I'm aware of, and I'm sure there's another example, so let me know down in the comments below, where the cartridge contents are different than regular versions. I am of course talking about the Fire Emblem Fates Special Edition. Now if you missed this in my haul video, I talk about it a lot in there. Go check that out. It's in the thumbnail, you'll see it. This is Fire Emblem Fates Conquest and Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, as well as Fire Emblem Fates Revelations 101 cartridge. So what Nintendo did was they did the Pokemon thing where they released 2 versions, Conquest and Birthright, but what happened was they released a digital 3rd version, and it was only available digitally. And this was like 18 chapters of a Fire Emblem game, which is like a substantial amount of Fire Emblem content that you could only get digitally. This special edition comes with an art book as well as like a 3DS pouch. Nothing crazy, but that cartridge, in fact, I do have it out here. My copy is not sealed. It's right here. Similar, I mean, it just has like the Birthright, and then on the backside it's Conquest. And then the cartridge has all 3 on them. And this cartridge does look different than, if it focuses there. It is different. The contents of this cartridge has all 3 versions on one cartridge. So only available through the special edition of Fire Emblem Fates. I got this for $400. It popped up. I knew I had to get it because prices have already skyrocketed, guys. Here's the thing. Here's the kicker, right? Out of all of these games, Fire Emblem's easily the most popular, except maybe Dragon Quest. But Fire Emblem's pretty mainstream now at this point. So this is probably going to be most people's grail for 3DS collecting. This is going to be like the item people are like, okay, I'm going to drop X amount of money on a 3DS game. What's the best one to get? It's Fire Emblem. So I'm very happy to have it in my collection. Very fortunate to have found that deal. I mean, if I had bought it a couple months ago, it would have been like $250. But the prices have skyrocketed. So as I said, I got it for $400. Good luck with that. I don't know why that person listed it for so low when he did. I mean, to be fair, like a month ago, like I said, they weren't selling for that much. It is well over $1,000 now for a sealed one. Mine is used, as you saw, because I had the cartridge out. But for a used copy, it's still like $750, $800, $900, and it's only rising. There's no reason for this to ever go down in value unless maybe if Nintendo ports it to Switch or whatever the next console is. I don't think that's going to happen. And even if it did, it probably wouldn't really affect the value because Fire Emblem fans, as we've seen with the Wii game and the GameCube game, the prices stay up. So Fire Emblem Fate Special Edition, I would say that's my one caveat for the special editions because it's all on the different cartridge. Fire Emblem Fate Special Edition is my grail for 3DS personally. My next grail, I guess, is the Yokai Watch games. But yeah, that's definitely the one to look out for. You're probably looking at used $850. I did see on eBay one sold for $1,200 sealed. So shout out to my friend Ty Played, who also bought this sealed Omikari, I think for like $350 or $400 a few weeks ago. So good investment. I don't know how much more it's gonna rise, but I assume out of all these 3DS games, that's the one that's gonna be the most sought after. Now we have one more 3DS game. I could not believe this when I found out about it. There's only one currently listed of the North American version on eBay, and that is this is the most expensive 3DS game, guys. Barbie Gloom and Glam Pups for the 3DS. The only one listed on eBay right now for the North American copy is $2,500. There's a lot of like German copies for a couple hundred, maybe like 500 to 1,000, but the only North American copy listed is $2,500. On price charting, I think there was a sale. Someone bought it for $3,000 like a year ago. I don't know what happened here. I'm assuming whoever published this Barbie game, it just did not get printed. It was on DS and Wii also, I believe. So I'm assuming maybe it was like an earlier 3DS game, and then they mostly focused on DS, and then the 3DS version probably just had like one shipment, you know, that kind of thing. So there you guys have it. That is the rarest 3DS game, Barbie Gloom and Glam Pups for the 3DS. If you ever see that while you're hunting for less than $1,000, North American copy, you buy it. I will be taking out a loan to get that game eventually if I ever see it pop up for cheaper than... My limit would probably be 500 if I saw it, like, you know, justifying like, oh, okay, this is like an investment. But obviously that's we're talking big money there. But there you guys have it. That is the top 10, top 11, top 15. I included some extras in there. Rarest 3DS games. If I missed anything, like I said, let me know down in the comments below. From what I have seen, these are the rarest, most expensive, most sought after Nintendo 3DS games in 2022. Obviously, these prices are always going to be changing. There might be something else that skyrockets in there. Some of the Shin Megami Tensei games I could easily see coming into this list in the near future, like Apocalypse, and even some like Soul Hackers might go up now because they announced Soul Hackers 2 for PS4 and an Xbox. So it's an ever-changing list, but like, of course, if I missed anything currently in March of 2022, let me know down in the comments below what that is. And of course, I mean, yeah, like I said, there's special edition stuff. The Pucci and Yoshi's Woolly World Amiibo bundle is like $300. I think there's a Box Boy bundle with Amiibo, and for that in Japan, that's like $1,000. I didn't really want to cover those too much. The only reason I kept Fire Emblem Fates in there is because the cartridge contents are different, and that will be like the grail for most 3DS collectors. But of course, if you enjoyed this video, guys, if you found it informative, please leave a like, subscribe, share it with your friends, all that stuff. I really appreciate the support recently. This channel is growing quite a bit. And, you know, it's all thanks to you guys. I really do appreciate it. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. I do have a Discord down below if you want to click on that and join. It's not, like, super serious. It's a chill group of friends where if you join, we'll talk about game deals, you know. We have a deals chat where I post my eBay and Mercari findings. So, if you're interested in that, join down below. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.